It's 2 in the morning on Saturday night at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe. The onions are frying, the neon is bright, and the jukebox is starting to play. And the sign on the wall says, "In God we trust, all others have to pay." And it's 2 in the morning on Saturday night at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
The short order cook with the mama tattoo, he's turning them burgers slow. Eggs over easy, whole wheat down, do y'all want that coffee to go? He never once dreamed as a rodeo star that he'd wind up here today at 2 in the morning on Saturday night at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
There's a tall, skinny girl in the very back booth, wearing jeans and a second-hand fur. She's been to the doctor, then called up a man, and now wonders just where she can turn. She stares at her coffee, then looks towards the ceiling, and Lord, it's a strange place to pray. At 2 in the morning on Saturday night at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
There's a guy in a tux, and he stands in the corner, feeding the jukebox his dimes. He just had a woman and thought he'd bought her, but found he'd just rented some time. And he just couldn't sleep, so he came back to see if anyone else wants to play at 2 in the morning on Saturday night at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
There's an old dollar bill in a frame on the wall, the first one that Rose ever made. It was once worth $1 a long time ago, but like Rose, it's beginning to fade. She's back of the register, dreaming of someone, and how things be if it stayed. But it's 2 in the morning on Saturday night at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
The stoop-shouldered man and his frizzy-haired woman, it's strange how their eyes never meet. He's playing the pinball, she's fixing the blanket of the baby asleep on the seat. But he's out of work and she's putting on weight, and they never had too much to say. And it's 2 in the morning on Saturday night at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
The waitress Darlene, she sits at the counter, painting her fingernails blue. And the short order cook, he yells, "Move it or lose it," and pick up an order of stew. But someday a rich, handsome man will walk in and carry her far, far away. From 2 in the morning on Saturday night at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
Eddie the cop, he sits at the counter, trying to look dapper and cool. His beer belly gut overlapping his belt, and his blue shiny ass overlapping the stool. He gulps down a handful of donuts and belches, and never once offers to pay, and no one says nothing at 2 in the morning at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
There's a weightlifter there in his black skin-tight t-shirt. He's picking his teeth with the check. He coughs now and then until somebody looks, then he casually flexes his pecs. He smiles at the curly-haired apple-cheeked sailor, and the sailor he quick turns away. We take our best shot here at 2 in the morning at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
The hollow-eyed trucker, in a well-practiced gesture, he swallows another white pill. If he drove as fast as his insides are speeding, he'd leave all the world standing still. And if he can make 300 miles by 11, they won't take his wheels away. But it's 2 in the morning on Saturday night at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
Oh, Slim the dishwasher's taking his break in the alley away from the light. He smuggles a ham to his buddy who's waiting, and his buddy fades into the night. He looks across the alley to the blonde hooker's window, but that damn bitch is pulled down the shade. Another dream shattered at 2 in the morning at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
Old man Mackenzie, he's thumping his Bible, ranting about hell's burning fires. You're all eating your chicken and drinking your wine, indulging your carnal desires. He kicks at the jukebox, then pinches Darlene. She screams and damn near drops her tray. Rejecting salvation at 2 in the morning at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
The junkie, he's standing outside of the glass, shaking so hard he can't stand. There's a Saturday night special dip in his pocket, and the pearl handle sweats in his hand. But there's too much light and too damn many people, and relief is still 12 bucks away. And he won't find the answer at 2 in the morning at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
The tall, rangy shortstop of the semi-pro team sticks a wad of tobacco in his jaw. He went 2 for 4 in the win over Danville, and didn't he get a standing applause? But he's 32 and still clings to the dream that he'll play for the White Sox someday. And he'll sign an autograph if you just ask him at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
The shaggy-haired hippie, he's finished his meal, and he's counting the change in his jeans. Burger and coffee are 85 cents, and he's only got 23. He smiles at Rose and she winks back at him, but Lord, that's a high price to pay. At 2 in the morning on Saturday night at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
The wino, he's pushing the broom and he's thinking tomorrow his welfare comes in. And Rosalie hands him a slug for the jukebox and says, "Play number 7 again." 'Cause she loves those sad songs, those he done her bad songs, to while the long hours away. And memories hang heavy at 2 in the morning at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
There's crazy old Crazy Annie, she's 74, wearing short skirts and wine vinyl boots. She's lugging 3 shopping bags stuffed full of trash, looking for leftover food. They say that somewhere in her garbage-filled house, there's $1 million hidden away. but she just grabbed your half-eaten egg salad sandwich at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
The kitchen supply salesman, he's telling Rosie her old steel deep fryer is shot, and everyone laughs as she mimics Mae West and says, "Big boy, my fryer's still plenty hot." And the salesman says, "Rosie, that's pretty damn good, but ain't you lots older than Mae?" A laugh-a-damn minute at 2 in the morning at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
There's a homecoming party for Billy Constanza, just back from the Vietnam Hills. "Hey, is it true about the slant of them women, and how many gooks did you kill?" He raises his glass with the stainless steel hand, ain't science doing wonders these days. And it's hail to the hero at 2 in the morning at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
The prima ballerina of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, she's asking if there's any work. The rope around her suitcase is coming apart, and her feet in pride sure do hurt. The cook's saying yeah, and Darlene's saying no, and Rosie says sit down and wait. Nothing comes easy at 2 in the morning at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
There's an old wooden sign hidden under the counter. It's been there for 17 years. It says Jim and Rosalie's Home Country Cooking, and the paint's dried and peeled like her tears. And Rosalie's planning on heaving it out in the alleys on one of these days, but it ain't hurting nothing this Saturday night at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
Old Louie, he's limping from table to table, asking, "Hey, what can you use? I got wristwatches, diamond rings, fur coats, and stag films. No reasonable offer refused. I got 2 kids in college, a wife in the hospital, also 1 foot in the grave. How about a transistor, a watch for your sister?" At Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
The guy in the tux cutting into his steak, smiling like Cary Grant would. And Darlene keeps running and filling his cup. He looks like he tips pretty good. He pockets the $3 bills of the change and just leaves the 14-cent sleigh. And Cary Grant's now just another cheap bastard at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
There's a dude in the jaw and he's puking his guts out, swearing he won't drink again. And she's just a tramp and life's just a hustle, and that bastard was never a friend. He rinses his mouth out and wets down his hair, and heads for the bar across the way. A promise don't last long at 2 in the morning at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
There's an ex-con just fresh from a 14-year stretch, and he's rapidly losing his poise. There's pork chops and lamb chops and chili to choose from, and he ain't used to making a choice. And there's dogs and there's kids, and that damn waitress tits are just about to blow him away. He's trembling and sweating, enjoying his freedom at Rosalie's Goodies.
Bus driver cussing his old burned-out Greyhound, working on his 2nd beer. He's got a daughter who lives here in this town, but hell, it's been almost 10 years. She's probably married with kids of her own, and then, what the hell would he say? Come down and meet your daddy at 2 in the morning at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe? Now old crazy Annie, she's reading the palm of the tall skinny girl in the fur. There's a man and a home and 3 beautiful children in the future just waiting for her. The girl starts to laugh, now she's starting to scream, and they might have to haul her away. From 2 in the morning on Saturday night at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
There's Rosalie's kid, and he's just up from college. He's brought his girlfriend along. She shakes hands with Rosie and sniffs at the grease, and says she's not hungry at all. Then Rose feels ashamed that her apron ain't clean, and what would the girl's parents say? At 2 in the morning on Saturday night at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
Milton, the cab driver, standing there squirming, telling his woes to the con. His hemorrhoids are burning and his bladder is busting and someone's using the John. And the streets are all bare, and if he found a fare, he'd probably get mugged on the way. And it's 2 in the morning on Saturday night at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
The kid with the acne, he crumbles the program he got at the Tri-Highway dance. He's using Colgate and Ariel and Brut, and he still can't get laid worth a damn. So maybe tomorrow he'll buy some Leveris, and the pussy will all come his way. Sitting and dreaming at 2 in the morning at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
The black jacket biker, he looks out the window, watching his Harley outside. Freeways and highways and 20-lane skyways, not many dirt roads left to ride. And this morning he looked in the mirror and noticed his hair was taking some gray. And it's 2 in the morning on Saturday night at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
There's a young dusty cowboy, he's working the fair, cursing the bitch he just rode. And the shorter cook, he hears the kid bragging and sees himself ages ago. He could tell the punk how he rode in the big ones, but hell, let them sleeping dogs lay. The young ones they ride, and the old ones fry onions at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe.
The bald-headed writer of unsavory songs, he's brushing the crumbs from his beard. He's filled up his notebook with other folks' sorrow and his belly with other folks' beer. Now he's rhyming a tune about this dingy old diner, just one more the DJs won't play, but life is a song, and ain't we all singing at Rosalie's Goodies Cafe. The blonde-haired pretender, she's fixing her eyelash in the mirror, it laughs in her hand. She'll glance around the room with the smile of a woman, then she'll curse in the voice of a man. From young football hero to old midnight queen, he's sure come a long lonesome way. to 2 in the morning on Saturday night at Rosalie's Good Eats Cafe. There's a sad-eyed inspector from the Department of Health examining the kitchen too close. He's writing citations and quoting violations and shaking his head as he goes. Then Rosie walks back there and closes the door, and when they come out, it's okay. He's smiling and tearing up all the citations on Rosalie's Good Eats Cafe. A big zigzag crack in the front plate glass window where last night the cowboy went through. Somebody said he said something to someone about a lady that somebody knew. And somebody reached for a bottle of ketchup and blood spattered every which way to blend with the grease stains that covered the walls here at Rosalie's Good Eats Cafe. Eddie the cop, he fingers his holster and stares at the hippie's long hair. He's probably carrying 5 pounds of dope, but he's too damn tired to care. 12 years on the force and 8 commendations, and he just might make sergeant someday. So F the whole city and all the damn weirdos at Rosalie's Good Eats Cafe. The jogger, he finished his long midnight mile, and he stops for a quench of his thirst. He's heavy of breath, and he's smelling of sweat, and he sure could have showered up first. And old crazy Annie yells, "Where are you running? Don't you know you just can't escape? We're all damned forever to Saturday nights here at Rosalie's Good Eats Cafe." The toothless old wino, he starts into shouting, "You don't know how lucky you are. That damn VA hospital pretty near killed me. Hey, who wants to look at my scar?" He stares around the room, then picks up the old broom and starts sweeping the weekend away at 2 in the morning on Saturday night at Rosalie's Good Eats Cafe. The TV set's flickering up there on the shelf, and nobody's watching but Slim. James Cagney is climbing the ladder of crime. That woman ain't no good for him. Hey, did you see him push that grapefruit in her face? Hell, they could really act in them days, but who's got a grapefruit at 2 in the morning at Rosalie's Good Eats Cafe? The short order cook, he just stares out the window, waiting the breaking of dawn. He'll pick up his pay, then he'll tell old Rosie he's going to be traveling on. And she'll say it's short notice, and well, what the hell, he might give her just one more day, because it's 2 in the morning on Saturday night at Rosalie's Good Eats Cafe.
The baby-faced sailor, he leans on the phone and dials the number again, while the guy in the tux tells the girl in the jeans about the wonderful places he's been. Then the wino, he puts down his broom and starts shouting about the fortunes that he threw away. And the black jacket biker, he gets on his Harley, 'cause Monday's a 9 to 5 day. And the blonde-haired pretender, she's asking the con if he thinks she should take off some weight. And the songwriter's promising Miss Ballerinas that he's gonna write her a play. And the sweet college girl's asking Rosalie's kid if he knows where to score some cocaine. And the speeding truck driver tells the sleepy cab driver they ought to drive jobs for a day. And Eddie the cop keeps his eye on the hippie, while the junkie just shuffles away. And old crazy Annie, she's asking them all, have you called your mama today? And the weightlifter's telling the baby-faced sailor that he's got a beautiful face. And the short-order cook, he tells the rodeo cowboy he'll outright his ass any day. And Eddie the cop, he's just looking round, yelling, "Hey, who owns the blue Chevrolet?" And the bus driver's telling the young ballerina that she can ride free to LA. And Rosalie's asking the shaggy-haired hippie if he's got a warm place to stay. And the short-order cook takes a 5 from the till while Rosalie's looking away. And the onions are frying, the neon is bright, and the jukebox continues to play. And it's 2 in the morning on Saturday night at Rosalie's Good Eats Cafe.